Come on, get your cockles. Je voudrais. Yeah, what's that? Les petits manger. Breakfast, is it? Deux billets. 2 tickets, s'il vous plaît. Right on, governor. Come again. Down and out in Paris and London. The podcast. Okay, chapter 18. Now, we're into another anecdote here with Charlie's story. Another one of Charlie's stories. Not quite as horrific as his first. In the second sentence here, we've got direct address straight away. Try and picture him drunk. Orwell there's a bit that didactic, bit preachy, bit commanding tone in this book. Far more so than Funda, who doesn't tell us what to think or do at any point. She's very, very objective and passive in that sense. Orwell, a bit more direct and didactic. And here he's just helping us to imagine what Charlie's like. So he's trying to make it more lurid in a way, but there's that direct address to the reader. Try and picture him drunk but sober enough to talk consecutively. So let's hear that now.
Charlie told us a good story one Saturday night in the bistro. Try and picture him drunk but sober enough to talk consecutively. He bangs on the zinc bar and yells for silence. "Silence, monsieur et dame! Silence, I implore you. Listen to this story that I am about to tell you. A memorable story, an instructive story, one of the souvenirs of a refined and civilized life. Silence, monsieur et dame! It happened at a time when I was hard up. You know what that is like, how damnable that a man of refinement should ever be in such a condition. My money had not come from home. I had pawned everything, and there was nothing open to me except to work, which is a thing I will not do. I was living with a girl at the time. Yvonne, her name was."
Just a very small point to make, but in this speech, there's use of deixis there. With the thing I will not do, sort of reducing work to just a thing, and by not even using the noun for it, he's using deixis there to use thing instead of the actual name of it, just to show his absolute distaste at the idea of work.
A great half-witted peasant girl like Isaiah there, with yellow hair and fat legs. The two of us had eaten nothing in 3 days. Mon Dieu, what sufferings! The girl used to walk up and down the room with her hands on her belly, howling like a dog that she was dying of starvation. It was terrible. But to a man of it...
Yeah, more zoomorphism there, isn't it? Howling like a dog. That simile, the girl, hands on her belly, howling like a dog, that she's dying of starvation. So you've got that zoomorphic simile there to describe her as a dog.
Intelligence, nothing is impossible. I propounded to myself the question, what is the easiest way to get money without working? And immediately the answer came. To get money easily, one must be a woman. Has not every woman something to sell? And then, as I lay reflecting upon the things I should do if I were a woman, an idea came into my head. I remembered the government maternity hospitals. You know the government maternity hospitals. There are places where women who are enceinte are given meals free and no questions are asked. It is done to encourage childbearing. Any woman can go there and demand a meal, and she is given it immediately. Mon Dieu, I thought, if only I were a woman, I would eat at one of those places every day. Who can tell whether a woman is enceinte or not without an examination? I turned to Yvonne. "Stop that insufferable bawling," I said. "I have thought of a way to get food." "How?" said she. "It is simple," I said. "Go to the government maternity hospital, tell them you are enceinte, and ask for food. They will give you a good meal and ask no questions." Yvonne was appalled. "Mais mon Dieu," she cried, "I am not enceinte." "Who cares?" I said. "That is easily remedied. What you need Except a cushion, 2 cushions if necessary. It is an inspiration from heaven, ma chère. Don't waste it. Well, in the end, I persuaded her, and then we borrowed a cushion and got her ready and took her to the maternity hospital. They received her with open arms. They gave her a cabbage soup, a ragout of beef, a puree of potatoes, bread and cheese and beer, and all kinds of advice about her baby. Yvonne gorged till she almost burst her skin and managed to slip some of the bread and cheese into her pocket for me. I took her there every day until I had money again. My intelligence had saved us. Everything went well until a year later. I was with Yvonne again, and one day we were walking down the Boulevard Port-Royal near the barracks. Suddenly, Yvonne's mouth fell open, and she began turning red and white and red again. Mon Dieu, she cried, look at that, who is coming? It is the nurse who was in charge at the maternity hospital. I am ruined. Quick, I said, run. But it was too late. The nurse had recognized Yvonne, and she came straight up to us smiling. She was a big, fat woman with a gold pince-nez and red cheeks like the cheeks of an apple. A motherly, interfering kind of woman.
A nice description, isn't it? A big, fat woman with red cheeks like the cheeks of an apple. So again, unflattering, and using a simile there, a chromomorphic simile, I suppose, to compare it to something unhuman, an apple, big red cheeks. So we've got that again to add to our list of unflattering descriptions. And just while we're in this, I probably won't say any more on this one till he gets into his story. It's told through anecdote. This whole chapter is told through anecdote, something which we don't get in Thunder. We don't get the same extent of storytelling from the characters. We get interviews and we get conversations. This is far more, the line dominance is given to these people like Charlie or Boris or whoever it is telling the story at this particular time. And so we're left almost like a spectator, almost as if we're in the bistro hearing this story ourselves on one of these Saturday nights of these drinking binges. And so I suppose the difference there is that we are perhaps more immersed in this world. It smacks more of travel writing than Thunder's, which is more investigative. So that's certainly a difference. But I think that's possibly also to do with the time they were written and the sort of sensibilities of the publishers at the time and also the writers. Thunder has a more journalistic, investigative tone and background, whereas Orwell doesn't have that necessarily. And clearly he, like a travel writer, he wants to immerse the reader in this culture and this world in which he finds himself.
I hope you are well, ma petite, she said kindly. And your baby? Is he well too? Was it a boy, as you were hoping? Yvonne had begun trembling so hard that I had to grip her arm. No, she said at last. And then, évidemment, it was a girl. Thereupon, Yvonne, the idiot, lost her head completely. No, she actually said again. The nurse was taken aback. Comment? She exclaimed. Neither a boy nor a girl, but how can that be? Figure to yourselves, monsieur et dame. It was a dangerous moment. Yvonne had turned the color of a beetroot and looked ready to burst into tears. Another second, and she would have confessed everything. Heaven knows what might have happened. But as for me, I had kept my head. I stepped in and saved the situation. It was twins, I said calmly. Twins, exclaimed the nurse. And she was so pleased that she took Yvonne by the shoulders and embraced her on both cheeks publicly. Yes, twins.
So there, the whole thing told in anecdote, as I mentioned before, not even any reflection from Orwell at all. It's just purely anecdote and immerses us in the story as if we're in the bistro. we're going to pick up on chapter 19 next, then, with the time marker 1 day, 5 or 6 weeks later from when they started at the Hotel X. I know it's probably frustrating that I'm chopping them into sections when they're quite short. You'd probably rather I just went straight through and didn't have to listen to that damn theme tune every single time. But I'm going to keep doing it into the sections. So I do apologise, but hopefully it's better if you're doing it in sections, and it compartmentalises things and helps to keep things organised rather than as a one massive long podcast. So I apologise if it's a bit bitty and a bit repetitive, but hopefully it'll be more useful. And certainly going forward, if I want to use these again, it's probably more helpful to me if I keep them as separate files. So hopefully you understand. Okay, I'll see you for chapter 19. Bye for now.